The Washington Backcountry Discovery Route is a 575-mile, primarily off-road route stretching from the Washington-Oregon border to the Canadian border. It offers views of the dense and wet forest that Washington State is known for, all the way up to high-elevation alpine, where you can see all the thousands of feet in elevation you just climbed. It's a test of willpower and stamina, as this week-long trip is inherently punishing on the body by virtue of its relentless bumpy roads, cliff roads that require your full attention, and whatever other obstacles you may face. For me, this was a solo venture, adding to the difficulty but making it that much more rewarding when I reached the Canadian border. This is section 1 of my journey through the Washington BDR. Towering above the Columbia River, which acts as a border between Oregon and Washington, is the Bridge of the Gods. This impressive steel structure, built almost 100 years ago, marks the beginning of my 575-mile trip along the Washington Backcountry Discovery Route. The first few miles of the trail are all pavement, taking you through the small towns of Stevenson and Carson, both of which offer an opportunity to fill up the tanks and get whatever last-minute items you need before finally hitting dirt. So, the roads have been really good so far, but they're starting to get a little rough. And these Falcon RT01s, they are so brutal. I love the sidewall protection that they offer because of the 3-ply, but they are so rough. So I'm gonna air down, which I'm excited about because I have these finally. I'm annoyed with myself that I waited so long to get these. God, these are excellent. I also have the Morphlate 10.6 PSI Pro, which I've heard a lot of good things about, but I haven't been able to test quite yet. Don't think I'll be testing it out today, but tomorrow when I get back on pavement, I'm really excited to give those a shot. Should be able to air my tires up in 5 minutes. I came across a slight clearing in the middle of the towering evergreens that surrounded me. In this clearing, red and orange leaves flooded my field of view and served as a reminder that fall is just around the corner. There is a very calm and quiet series of lakes in the second half of section 1. With ducks swimming by making the only ripples in the water, this is a great spot to take a little break and listen to all the wildlife that is lucky enough to call this home. It doesn't get much more Pacific Northwest than fog rolling over a meadow in a forest. I love this. I mean, I can't just drive by that. Welcome to my campsite. Don't click away just yet, let me explain. First of all, as far as campgrounds go, I mean, this does count, but it's loosely defined. There's tons of dispersed camping up and down section 1 of the BDR. One spot I was kind of interested in, but I wanted to make a little bit more forward progress than it was. I just found an incredible spot that was creekside. It was dispersed. It was amazing, and I had it all. I had the Bronco all set up, and then I started looking around, and it was just, there's widowmakers everywhere. So I didn't feel comfortable staying there. It's a little bit later in the day, and it's starting to rain, so I was just like, I need a site. And this was open. I have a creek right there, so I'll be able to fall asleep to the sound of that. I'm super excited about it, to be honest. It's just kind of how it goes sometimes, you know. I downloaded the GPX file that everyone else can download for the BDR, and that was the extent of my planning. I really want to do this trip and just wing it entirely. So there's a couple points of interest, but for the most part, this is just going with the flow, man. Anyways, I'm gonna get set up and enjoy my evening here. My amazing wife packed me some leftover chili to have for dinner on the first night, which paired perfectly with the overcast and drizzle of the evening. Something that you don't see often is the cleaning up of cooking. It is important to find a good soap that is safe for the environment. I choose to use Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, as this is safe for the environment and completely biodegradable. Get this unscented if possible. Overnight, the skies opened up and dumped on me, which made for a very wet morning. Yet another reminder that fall is just around the corner. I made coffee real quick, but was eager to get on the road and complete section 1, so I skipped breakfast and got back on the trail. After 120 miles off-road, it's time to rejoin the road. But before we do that, we gotta get aired up, which I'm really excited to use the new Morphlate system. Less than 4 minutes to go from 18 PSI to 37 is so impressive. That is literally a tenth of the time it took me to air up before. I am thrilled. I am so pumped on that. And the fact that it shut off automatically, so I kind of like watched it closely this time because it was my first time using it. But it just shuts off once it hits the PSI that you set it at. Oh, I'm in love. That's amazing. If you want to pick one of these up, I have a link in the description. Highly recommended. Man, this changed my world. Once back on pavement, you will come across the small town of Packwood. This quiet little town has options for food and fuel, but my only need at this time was fuel. So I topped off the tank and got back on the road, eager to begin section 2. With section 1 behind me, it's time for section 2, and right off the bat, it hits hard with Bethel Ridge, a cliff face at 6,000 feet overlooking Mount Adams and Rimrock Lake. But with 120 miles of trail, there is so much more to be seen in section 2.